What is up? Welcome back to Birdman on this 102-degree day in Texas. What's new? Not a lot of stuff new in the weather. Just a hot as hell year. Unbelievable. We are getting closer to August in a couple of days. Just hopefully summer is almost over, folks. So it's almost time for the kiddos to go back to school, and then we go back to football season, and then we get into the fall, which I'm looking forward to for cooler weather. Of course, down here in Houston, it might be like October by the time it gets cooler, but it'll be cooler than the 102, I guess. So a lot of stuff going on, a few different stories to talk about today. One is Trump's in the lead. This is not news. This is not breaking news. It is what it is. Trump's support is just rock solid right now in the Republican Party. It seems to be just constantly going up. It doesn't seem like anyone's deterring from that. It doesn't seem like anyone's... it doesn't seem like he's losing any support, let's put it that way. If anything, he's gaining support within the Republican Party, which is really gone up since his first indictment with the Alvin Bragg decision. It looks like it kind of coincided with his support. He was about at 40% then, but it seems like it's kind of gone up, and he's really like at high 50s to 60% now on his support. If you look at all the polls, and man, there's a shitload of polls right now, and I don't believe half of them. They just are all over the map. You got Trump at, sometimes you got Trump at, Trump's is pretty solid, but if you look at the other people in the race, I mean, you got DeSantis sometimes at 22, and then the next poll he's at 12, and then the next poll he's at, really it's just a battle right now over those other votes, that other 40%. It's really isn't a battle on that. It looks to me, and I've been saying this for a while, Nikki Haley has no chance. She just doesn't have any chance. I'm sorry. Tim Scott has no chance. I get some people are like, oh, they're putting their money behind Tim Scott. No, he doesn't have a chance. Stop it. He doesn't have a chance. Asa Hutchinson, I have no idea why this guy's in the race. I mean, literally, I have no idea why this guy's in the race. Mike Pence has first off, he didn't have much of a chance to begin with. But after his Tucker Carlson interview, the dude has zero chance. I'm sorry. That was just... It's not my concern. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I get it after they go, oh, well, he was talking about Ukraine. No, he wasn't. I mean, you saw the exchange. He's a very smart guy. I've watched this guy talk for years. He's very smooth. He's just a really great communicator. He had to know when he answered that wasn't right. He looks like he despises Tucker Carlson. The whole interview I was watching the thing, he literally looked like he despises Tucker Carlson. And Tucker could ask me a question. He's really not even looking at Tucker. He just kind of looks over. Then he looks off in the crowd like... I mean, just like he's like, will you shut the hell up, Tucker? Will you shut the hell up? That's basically what I was feeling in that interview. I'm Mike freaking Pence. Shut the hell up. That's basically what he was thinking. So, obviously, Mike's a big fan of Ukraine. He loves the Ukraine war. I mean, it's just, it's not his concern. So... I always liked Mike Pence. I always thought he was a great communicator, but not in that scene. I mean, I don't get how he screwed up that exchange. I mean, anyone watching knows he was talking about the United States, but they tried to spin it after the fact and say he was talking about Ukraine. Well, no, even I would know that. Like, I mean, I would probably look like shit doing an interview. Like, if Tucker was asking me questions, they'd be like, "Oh, this guy's," because I'd probably fumble or something. But I'm not. I don't think I'd fumble that bad. I don't know. Sorry, coffee break. So there's basically what I'm getting to. There's only a few people that have a chance. Obviously, Ron DeSantis has a chance. It's obviously not as good as it was, but he still has a chance. And the guy that I'm telling you, I've been saying this, he's a wild card for 3 months now. You can look it up on Twitter at 24 War Room, which I'm sure a lot of people will. No, but seriously, I believe it was in April, I said that Vivek is a wild card in the race. Because he's an outsider, okay? He's very articulate. He can really, I get it. He says all the right things. He says all the conservative things. He says all this stuff, but he's very bold too in his statements. And part of it might be because he has that record. Part of it might be because he doesn't give a shit. Part of it might be because he has fuck you money. I mean, this guy has I think he's worth over $200 million. So, I mean, I don't really have fuck you money. I have like, what do you need me to do, sir? I have that kind of money. Not exactly fuck you money. I'm more like, I just want my paycheck. Like a little gopher. But I will say that he says all those right things, right? He says all that stuff that conservatives are just like, oh my God, it's unbelievable and stuff like that. But the thing is, he's positive, he's young, he's articulate, and he really has a good way of breaking down stuff. So he's a wild card in my opinion. And then the fact that you're running and you're an outsider and you have no record, and that's my thing. Nobody thought he could win. I mean, I was saying that 3 months ago when he was at 1%, but I'm saying it now, and you really see him rising. So the big thing about Vivek is he is going to he's going to rise even further if he just nails the debates coming up in a few weeks. If he does that, that's his stage. That's his stage. Whether Trump shows up or not, he's going to kick ass. If he kicks ass, which I'm pretty sure he probably will, he will run up some votes, I'm telling you, because you know it when you saw it in the Tucker Carlson interview, he ran up some votes after that. When he gets on the debate stage, which will be even a bigger audience on the Fox News debate in August, he will run up some more votes. Here's the thing. Will he run up enough? Because the Trump support is just 100. I mean, these people are absolutely rock solid. I mean, they don't, and I don't like to use the word cold. I mean, I think some of them kind of act like the cold, but they kind of are. Some of these people you could say are very coldish because they won't back down from Trump. I think the guy could. I don't know what he could do. They would never not back down to this guy. I mean, it's unbelievable, and he's just solid. He's got 40% just solid. They won't budge off the 40. 40% are just like locked in hand key, man. Like, dude, Trump, right? And it's like, man, I get it, man. I get it. He did some great things. He's got that cult of personality too. Oh, he's just a good, he's funny. He is funny. I mean, I think the guy's hilarious. I think the guy, he has a lot of charisma and stuff like that. He loves the stage. He loves being famous. He loves all that kind of stuff. But he has a record now. The difference between now and 2016 is he has a record. And a lot of it I love his record, and there's some things that I don't like about his record. Okay? That's just the truth. I love the part of the Supreme Court nominations. That's probably his main thing that he got right. I love the economy before 2020. He was doing great things in the economy. There's a lot of great things he was doing that was really, really good stuff. And but there were some things that weren't right? The fact that he never fired Fauci, the fact that he gave Fauci a medal before he left, the nonstop drama, okay? You kind of knew that to begin with, that he'd have drama. But he's so drama, it's just, it never stops, That gets old sometimes, and that doesn't help the situation. And then, believe me, I think these indictments are bullshit. They're 100% political. We all know that kind of stuff. But my point is that he never helps the situation. The problem is it's a lot of times it's all about him. It's really all about him. When he before January 6th, I think it was on January 3rd or 4th. Remember we had a chance to win those two seats in Georgia? But he never really helped anybody. It was all about him leading up to the election. It was all about him not winning and him trying to have that January 6th contested, whatever it was, the electors or whatever it was that day. But he never was helping the situation. It wasn't about the Senate. It was about him. It's always about him. DeSantis is not loyal. It's not about him. It's not about the presidency. It's not about the United States. It's about him. It's always about him. Him. It's always about him all the time. I get it. He loves the country. He does this and that. But it really is all about him. It's all about being loyal to him. He doesn't have to be loyal to you. No, he'll just throw Kathleen McNanny under the bus. He'll throw anybody under the bus if I don't kiss my ass. It's all about him. And that's the issues I have. It's like, I get it, dude, that you're like an egotistical maniac and you like have done this and that, and you have a lot of shared um, thinking I have with regards to the economy, cutting taxes, um, some of the same values you want Supreme Court justices, and some of the same. I love his working, his energy and this and that. I really do. That's what I loved about him when he was running in 2016. This guy was like relentlessly energetic and going from place to place, campaigning like a maniac, while Hillary wasn't doing anything. There's a lot of things I like about him, but the one thing that just gets old is like, dude, it's not always about you, you know? It's really about the United States of America. You should be loyal to the United States of America, which I'm sure he is, but like, sometimes him gets in the way of that too, you know? This loyalty thing just gets really freaking old, man. Like, you're not loyal to. Just saying this isn't loyal. Loyal for what? I mean, in all seriousness. He helped him. I'll admit, if it wasn't for Trump, he would not have been governor in 2018. I mean, he barely won. If it wasn't for Trump, he wouldn't have been governor. I understand that. I completely understand that. But things happen, things change, you know? Like, he became a very successful governor. And even Trump knew he was doing a good job until he got too popular. When DeSantis got too popular, things changed. He don't like that because now you're invading his space because, oh my God, he's a threat. And so 2022 last year, it was very awkward, right? It's like things were changing, right? And then all of a sudden, by the end of the year, he's calling them sanctimonious. He's calling them names now. Ron DeSantis won Florida by 19 points. It was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable win for a Republican down there. Really, anyone you can bet it's a 19-point win. What does Trump do? Oh, he calls him Ron DeSanctimonious. He doesn't congratulate him. Nothing. It's motherfucker, you're a threat. And then he starts saying all this stuff that's not true. I don't believe anything that says his about DeSantis. You know, he even said that Christ and what's the other guy was a better governor. Basically, Ron DeSantis sucks. So basically what happened was he won, then he hated DeSantis, and I'm like, well, if he sucks so bad, why did you campaign for him in 2018? That doesn't make sense either. Why did you praise him for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden when he got too popular, you went against him, calls him names, and makes all this bullshit up that nobody believes except his surrogates who are complete kiss asses of Trump who believe everything he says. Those are the people that keep saying the same thing about Ron DeSantis, but Ron DeSantis was great for 2 years until he got too popular, right? Who believes this shit? I'm serious. Who the hell believes this shit that Trump says about DeSantis? I mean, it's absolutely insane. But it wasn't like that for a while. But DeSantis got too popular. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would hate to be one of these people that just kiss his ass just for they can, I guess, help their own career or just riding the coattails, right? I got into Mar-a-Lago. I'm hanging out with Mar-a-Lago. Okay. Whatever. Anyways, enough of that. So Trump's support on the list. So DeSantis and Vivek are the only people I think that can even come close that are in the race. Except maybe, what's this Glenn Youngkin? I'm so tired of hearing about Glenn Youngkin. What's the big deal about this guy? Is he kind of a moderate? He's not even. I don't. Like Glenn Youngkin. I don't get the big deal about this guy. It's very moderate, I thought. Anyways, folks, RFK Jr. not getting, in the news today, he's not getting Secret Service protection. He's asked many times the Biden administration, they don't let him have it. And he's saying there's some kind of conspiracy against him and saying this and that. And I've always been pretty supportive of RFK Jr. like that. I'd rather have him than Biden, I guarantee you. But I don't really get this piece. Like, I don't really understand it because he's only polling like 14 or 16%. I've never heard of anybody getting Secret Service protection this early. I mean, we're like 16 months from or 15 months from the election. It's not even, usually you get it like later on, like if you're close to winning the nomination or you're kind of like really, it's later on, right? So I don't really know what they're talking about. And then somebody said, well, no one gets it. There's never been a candidate that got it going against the incumbent. And I'm like, yeah, but an incumbent's never sucked this bad. Go look it up. No incumbent has polled in the 60s It's insane. Go look it up. They never pull this low. They either don't have anyone running against them, or they have some nobody that's polling like at 2%. Nobody's polling. He's got one poll at 20 and one at 14. He's polling like at 56 or 60. It's horrible. So that's another news. They also think that Mitch McConnell the other day, this is my last thing I'm going to talk about, Mitch McConnell, it looks like he had a stroke. I hope he's okay. It looks like he had a stroke on a live press conference. He was stood up there, and I think he was getting ready to talk, and he just like froze for like 20 seconds. And I don't really know what he had, but a lot of people think it was a stroke. And this goes back to this just goes back to maybe there should be age limits. It just goes back to we need to have term limits and stuff like this. I mean, how many people in Congress are over 80 years old? It's unbelievable. I mean, who would even hire Mitch McConnell? I mean, at a regular job. And I'm not trying to down the guy, but do you ever go anywhere and somebody that's 82 years old running a company? Or doing anything? I don't even know greeters at 82. Maybe a few of them. Even the greeter people have retired by that age. I mean, these people are in Congress? There's somebody there's like 90. Was it Feinstein out of California? 90. Do they have nothing else to do? Go meet your go find your great grandma. Go find someone you like that's 90 years old. Think if they should be running the Senate. I'm sorry, or a senator. Really? I don't know anybody above 80 at any job right now. Literally don't. There's a few, literally don't. But they're sure as hell not running the thing. It's just beyond unbelievable to me. Anyways, folks, we need term limits. Nobody actually... if I run, I'm term limit crazy. That's all I'm going to talk about. Because I see people talking about it now, but nobody actually lives by it. So, anyways, folks, that's all I got. Thank you for... Please subscribe below if you like what you're hearing. Election update next week again. Have an outstanding day. Thank you.